Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Welcome. Welcome to Monday. I don't know what it is in your part of the world, but to me, it's Monday. We hear some sounds in the background. All of that is good. All of that is cool. All of that is necessary to start the stream. Is it not? Is it not? Is it not, guys? I think it is. I think it is. I think personally that it is. Ba-dum bum ba-dum ba-dum. Let me test something real quick, okay? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello there. What can I help you with today?
Are you a bot or are you a human? Who are you?
I'm Ara, an AI assistant, not a human, but I'm here to help with anything you need. What's on your mind?
Okay, okay, if you insist, if you insist.
Insist on what exactly? I'm all ears.
That's all good. She doesn't have to be extremely, you know, knowledgeable. She doesn't have to be like extremely, extremely, extremely knowledgeable to be useful, right? She can be like semi-knowledgeable. Because if she doesn't understand, you know, what is the insisting that she's doing, then, you know. But I want to say something, okay? So this is an AI voice agent, as they usually come, right? And last time I checked how they worked kind of slowly and badly, but now she's actually listening in. If I choose to, she's listening in and answering pretty quickly. How fast can you answer questions about history, let's say?
Pretty fast. What's your history question?
I don't know what significant happened on today, you know?
Big one. July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to walk on the moon. Also, in 1944, there was a failed assassination attempt on Hitler. Today, it's also Moon Day and International Chess Day. Anything specific you want to dive into?
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder why nobody told me that today it was the Moon Day, as you say. I really did not know that.
Yeah, it's an unofficial observance, so it doesn't always get much buzz. The moon landing anniversary is the big one people remember. Want me to tell you more about that day in '69?
Is 69 a significant number also in this day, or is that just a coincidence?
Pure coincidence. The year is 1969. Nothing special about the number 69 itself. Just how the calendar lined up.
You know, you might be wrong because, you know, you cannot really use the number 69 in a League of Legends chat, right?
Yeah, you're right. League has a filter that blocks it. But that's a completely different kind of 69. Different context, different reason.
Well, it doesn't... she's not ready, guys. She's not ready. They don't have a filter that blocks it. She's not ready. But she's fast. So, you know, that counts for something. That's, by the way, Grok. I've never... until this point, I've never really used it. I heard some good things about Grok build, and I tried it and it was awesome. And the good thing about the Grok build is that it comes together with all the other stuff that Grok has, you know? All the other stuff that Grok has. Now, you might be wondering, hey man, how is this blazing fast except for the internet, right? How is all this fast? Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. You might have noticed that before, previously, it was like, you know, there's all kinds of lag happening and whatnot. Now, for years, okay? For years, I had installed League on my eDisc, which is a mechanical disc. And I had a perfectly fine SSD disk sitting around. And I finally installed it on SSD, and basically all of the problems went away. I haven't had a crash, I haven't had lag, I haven't had Riot taking away LP. I've never, like... So, man, this is one of those things that they don't teach you in school. When you have computer class in school, that should be one of the first things. Hey, guy, is your computer slow? Maybe files on the HDD, you know? No, I had HDD, which is 5 terabytes or whatever. I don't know, 2 terabytes. But SSD was 500 gigs. And I always kind of thought, you know, doesn't matter. Because I thought that League, it doesn't matter. It's the way I thought is that it loads all the stuff in the memory, and then it plays it from the memory, so the FPS doesn't suffer, right? But that's not true, because it constantly loads stuff back and forth, so it needs to be on SSD. And I also installed my game engine on an SSD, so FPS should be better. FPS should be a bit better. Camera pan is a nice touch. Are you back in the, like, history? Because I didn't do the camera pan, like, or are you commenting on the beginning of the video? I'm just confused about the timeline. Are you living on a different, you know, double timeline? Hello, can you try Conqueror with Titanic with on hit? Yeah, I can try it. I can try it. Best promotion on streamboo.org. Bro, no one cares. I know that it's a bot, but still. Last time I played, I lost 4 games in a row. No. What was your CS? What was your CS? I just mentioned it after SSD upgrade talk. Yeah, the camera pan is interesting. So, let me tell you something about the camera pan. I can record something, right? I can record some sort of like a movement like this. Whoop, and then I can stop it. I can stop it, right? And then I can click it, and it's gonna loop. But it has to be good, you know. It can't be bad. Okay. So this is a pretty bad loop that I created. This one is the earlier one that I created. This is the earlier one. And yeah, a lot of FPS probs are gone. A lot of FPS probs are gone.
Fear not. I will make use of your corpse.
They're just gone. You know? I don't even know how to explain that. They are simply gone. Goners. Okay, I need to stop the panning. There we go. Okay. I think these guys also need to be deleted because they're gonna take up some of that good old space, you know? That FPS space. Tell me, Mrs. Robot, how does having League installed on SSD differ from having it installed on HDD?
Not much in actual gameplay, but on an SSD, it'll load into matches faster, and you won't see those long stuttering freezes when new areas load. HDD feels noticeably slower to start games and load maps.
Is loading time the absolute only thing that stutters in this case?
No, the stutter can happen whenever the game needs to pull new assets from storage, texture loading, champion abilities, particle effects. On an HDD, everything that suddenly needs to load from disk can cause those annoying hitches.
Interesting. Do you have interesting facts about Gragas from League of Legends?
Gragas is based on a real guy. His voice actor, Josh Petersdorf, used to be a pro beer brewer before he got into voice acting. The whole drunk tank vibe came naturally to him.
What? Is this true? It's funny how she searches the web
Looks like
when I ask.
Yeah, I do a quick check when I'm not totally sure. Better to be accurate than to spread wrong info. Want me
So
to
this
actually look
was
up
this true or not?
No, it wasn't. I got my voice actors mixed up. The beer brewer story belongs to someone else, not Gragas.
Okay. Closed her off. Don't need that misinformation there. Skarner support wanted to try it, says Brax. Do I get boots or do I get Doran's helm or do I get Doran's shield? Let's try it with the shield this time. I was watching Bwippo play the game and he... Oh, look at this. I even alt-tab and you can't tell the difference because the FPS is still 60. Man, SSD, right? Am I right? SSD. Okay. And he just doesn't care. He buys the things. He knows things by heart and he builds things that are the correct and he doesn't care. And it was quite fun watching him, you know. He's I'm not sure if there are other like that caliber streamers. Whoop, you're losing that minion. There we go. I think he lost it, yeah. It's all good. You can hit me as much as you want, bruh. Although I gotta be a little bit careful from that Rengar gank once it happens, you know. Now he pushes and then maybe Locke takes his... Ooh, he lost 4 CS, which is like the gameplay that you want against the mid lane mage. Because he's poking you and you just don't give a F, honestly. Whoops. And you just don't give an F. You can actually... Whoops, there we go. You do give an F sometimes. Okay. I'll take this one, thank you. What you doing, bruh? Gotta be careful. I'll you know, he's gonna get smacked soon if he continues this. Especially if that Mr. Locke is coming. Ah, almost. Okay. There's no way I kind of rabble rouse him down this time. But there is a way where I could kind of... he thinks that he's going to win the sustained battle, but he doesn't. You know, something like that can happen. And I would like that. And that's it. He's out. He's out of mana. He's out of options. He's like Michael Scott when he was running away from his problems. You know, when he was broke? Whoops, there's something happening. Ooh. We don't like this. I'm not catching this guy. I'm not catching. Which level 3? Bruh. I'm kind of lucky that I'm even... Oh, I actually am catching this guy. Yeah. A little bit of a prob. Oh, actually. I do want to play against the jungler. If I end up inting because of that, it's all good. Is Jax running with the ghost or something here? Okay. They kind of snatched the defeat out of the jaws of victory because they wasted even more time than I did. I feel like, you know? Okay. I really hope that Mr. Locke is gonna show how OP he is. Da, 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 da. There we go. I was waiting for that tiny, tiny hit from that caster minion. Because I felt like it. Oh man, Locke is invading again. 24 to 24. He dead. Locke be intin, guys. What can we do about that? What do you think? What can we do about that? Okay. I'll take this. Is there anything we can do, or are we doomed here? That boy be intin. Because if I had Rengar on my team, that would basically be end of the for Locke. I would start invading his jungle and that would be over. Especially with Conqueror, there's almost no way they can kind of survive against you when you invade the jungle with Conqueror. Whoops. Against a champion like Locke, you know. Because Locke is... If he's behind, he does nothing, you know. If he's behind, he basically does nothing. Whoops. I guess it's similar to other assassins. Whoops. Gotta be really careful about this. Gotta be really careful. Oh, there he is. I like that Bard is giving me some vision of that. He wasn't here first, but he was, in a sense, when he came back, when he came to the... Okay, there's a little bit of action happening in the background there. He kind of gave the vision to me, and it's still... Oh man, ups. No mana, please. Okay. The F you doing, boys? That was kind of lucky for them, I gotta say. Okay, mister. Okay. I think we can try to do this. Okay. There's a little bit of that ignite action. He's dying, I think. And one more slice and dice there. Okay. Conqueror is interesting. It kind of makes you into this... you know, you can just stay in fights longer, is what I'm trying to say. Int or worth? Okay, he's gonna interrupt me. Haven't been back in a long time. In a long, long time. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it feels much faster. By the way, the items are the other way around. Any programmers in the chat? Can you tell me what is the difference between Rust and C++ in terms of performance? Okay, 3 guys here. I should not int this one. Okay. Sliced and diced. Sorry, man. Yeah. Kind of a lucky start here. Kind of a lucky start here.
Smash.
C++ and Rust. I've been hearing good things about Rust, and I don't even understand what garbage collection is, honestly. Okay. Yorick smash. Why is this throwing a cooldown here? Yesterday I saw a cooldown on boots. And I was thinking, is that some sort of a, you know, is that some sort of a, bug, or do the boots have cooldown? I saw the cooldown on these boots, on these ones. So, what could that have been? What do you think of building Iceborne or Shurelius? I think it's okay. Iceborne is one of the strongest items on Yorick. Period. Okay. Okay. Started off kind of poorly, gotta say. Do you want to see proxy from mid? No, we can't do that. I can't show that I'm proxying to the Shrengar because... What do you think? Is he gonna go to blue buff, red buff, or these guys? No, I'm coming here, yeah. Somebody has to take that wave. Did he really go to blue side? What the F? Why? On the cannon wave, it's really cool. If you can switch with your jungler, that's just outplay of the outplay. Just missed the static enemy. It's all good. That's just outplay of outplays, by the way. If you can hit a stat. Oh man, they actually got the grubs because of this. Really? Well, yeah, I'll give him the win. No. Because I thought he's gonna come to the... Yeah. Whoops. That was kind of lucky. That was also kind of lucky.
Int or worth. What now?
Yeah, kind of a double luck here. From these guys. Kind of a little bit of a double luck there. Good morning, Max. Welcome.
%100% voted int. Verdict int.
Guys, it's not, wasn't an int. That was a genius move. It's so weird that he went... I still cannot get over the fact that I didn't predict him correctly. Because I pride myself as a good predictor, okay? I pride myself on that. I'm gonna help my Mr. Locke. I'm gonna help my Mr. there. Mr. Locke. I'm gonna do it. I gotta make sure that Rengar doesn't get any of the raptor's nest. Of the cookie jar, as I like to say. I think originally it was called cookie jar by me because it has the round shape and that's it. There was nothing more special about that. Juked. Juked it. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Do you have a child? Yeah, I have a lot of children. Lost souls are my children. Whoops. Okay. Remember that song Lost Boys? Man. Do teenagers like that song? And I was one of them. You know, you think, oh man, we are lost boys, you know? We are the ones who are lost. What's going on there? I think the kids finished that job. Yes, I'm right. Please permaban Skarner. For what? He's helping you a lot. What a effing shit, he says. Eat okay. He okay. Because that's true. Eat okay, he okay. Okay. it actually okay. I'm not sure why does he think that he's so bad? Because he's just not. Just simply not. He's simply not that bad. Oh, he's gonna see me, yep. I was kind of expecting that. I was kind of expecting that. But I guess I stay here for the dragon fight. He doesn't have his big thing, so I can continue being here for just a tiny second. Okay. Yeah, Conqueror is really interesting. I feel like Yorick likes a lot of different keystones, and a lot of them just work on him. Whoops.
Int or worth. Vote now.
It was worth. Was definitely worth. Actually, yeah, I think it was worth. I think it was definitely worth. I mean, in real life, yes. 6-month-old. Kung Fu Jew 1 says Ghoul what make his rune work. Ghoul's what makes his rune work. Well, Conqueror definitely, but all of the runes. Imagine the green one, right? Imagine the green runes. They are made work by the fact that... Okay, is Gragas a top laner? Your Gragas go sides. That's sad. Because the ghouls keep it active, and then you can do it, you know, use it. What's going on here? Okay. And it's the same with Conqueror. The ghouls make them work, but maybe that's what you meant. Right? A little too scared to go there, so I'm gonna use this. Oops. I think I can get them both. Okay. Hello, Tuna. Welcome, my friend. Oh, God. What he doing there? I cannot let him basically do anything.
Int or worth. Vote now.
Int. This was an int. No doubt about it. I'm sure you get this often, but are gonna play Classic on release. I think I kind of have to, but I don't want to, really. But they, you know, I watched the developer log that they did, the video, and they said that they're not going to mess with a lot of stuff like your muscle memory, and it's going to feel good. And Riot Games is quite good at that. They very often make things feel good.
Was that worth?
So I kind of trust
Vote
them.
now.
So I might play it, yeah. One thing I wanted to say about Classic is that this sounds a little bit doomerish, but I want to be cautious because whenever games return to their classic state, it means that they're dead. You know, for example, World of Warcraft is a great example of that, right? But, okay. But I'm not, maybe Riot is going to pull off
100% voted
because
worth.
they are clearly not dead. They are clearly not dead. right? As a game company, because still, it's you know, still one of the, if not, is it still the biggest esport? Like as an esport. He used his TP, so I can leave. It just doesn't matter. I can just leave. I don't need to get picked up here. Oh, we actually do need this one. Yes. Unfortunately, I don't have exhaust, so I'm going to be a little bit afraid of that Jax. I played against Locke once in mid, and I inted deeply, and it was impossible. He just kills you. When you have 50% health, you are dead. And I did not know that, really. I did not really kind of understand that. I need to use this to catch the Rengar where he is. Where are you? Here? No. Here? No. Here? No. Well. Man, Bard is mad about lanes being pushed, but let me tell you a secret. Pushing is not that important. It's just not. The reason why pushing is so underpowered, I think, these days, is because there are many, many reasons, but I think, in my opinion, one of the biggest reasons why you don't want to push is because it puts you in a disadvantageous position. And when you are playing gold battle, when you're trying to get gold, and you're trying to get ahead, one team from another, right? You're basically just, that's what you're doing the whole mid game or whatever. And if you're playing that, and you put yourself as a disadvantageous position, meaning that you have to push further and further to get the gold. It's just kind of like, even though it gives a lot of gold to you from the, okay, Skarner's too strong for me to just rabble rouse his ass, but I can, you know, do a little bit of that. Nah, man. I'm running away. There we go. There's that Ghost Blade diff. I think that's why I still haven't really played that much with this playstyle, because each time I get a losing streak, I switch the playstyles, which is a bad thing, I think, a very bad habit for me. But that's why I think that this jungle invading playstyle is so potent, okay? Because you're not putting yourself in a disadvantageous position, that's it. There he's coming again. And if the Rengar cannot play, you know, it is what it is. Right now, for example, they want me to go to the Baron as well. But what I know it might sound selfish, but it is actually better for me to take this camp than to help them with the Baron, because they should... Whoops. Okay. Let's stop with the...
Int or worth?
Actually...
What now?
No. I should have went to the Baron, so... Scratch that, I didn't say anything. No, scratch it back in, because it was okay, because we, you know... Scratch it back in.
%100% voted int. Worded
Yeah,
int.
I have to change this vote somehow, because it's gotten stale, and it just, everybody votes int all the time, and there's no gamification of anything there, really. It's all good. He mad. Rightfully so. Do I use Ghostblade and just catch this guy? I don't know if I can. Gragas? Gragas doesn't give a F. Yeah. Okay, now he gives an F. Oops. Things are happening so fast here. Maiden is rabble-rousing some of the money there. Don't do it. Oh, he actually took it quite quickly. Smacked him. Smacked and diced him. Quiz, do I help lock or do I push? You're correct, I push. Probably should have helped him. He's ignoring him. Interesting choice. Okay. Very interesting choice. If it weren't so frequent. Yeah, what are you trying to say, man? Rengar be hinting? I am really liking a lot the way you can escape with the Ghost Blade, you know? So Rengar in 24 seconds, what does that mean? It means I probably should not go back home just yet. Smacked it. I'm gonna smack it again. I might not have enough attack speed though. Rengar has to go here, right? If he shows his face over here, I'm just gonna immediately press Ghost Blade and run there. Let me ward this as well. So I know every possible path he can take, I know about it. There he is, he's actually taking mid. He might have given up on the jungle. No, he's not giving up on the jungle. Okay. Would be cool if Azir TP'd there and we just win out of that. Smacked him. Actually didn't do that poorly. 7-12 is not that bad, is it? Yeah, Tuna, of course I understand what you mean. But, you know, still funny. Is this quiz graded? What does that mean? Look at how fast everything happens. No lag, no nothing. No nothing. You know, no lag in the loading department or anything. Please don't take the vote out. No, I won't take it out. It has to be different. Okay, Mr. Grok, you have to change the items because they are flipped vertically, and that's a problem. It should reflect exactly as League of Legends item list is, you know? Top left is the first item, top middle is the second item, etc., right? Let's see how fast he does this because, yes, I moved on from Codex to Grok. Yes. It doesn't mean that it's like an end-all be-all. It's just that, hey, it's 3 times cheaper, first of all. And second of all, it is like 8 times faster. And it is very, very... Okay, there's a little bit of a Catrick action going on. And second of all, it's close to Opus model, which is a very solid model from Anthropic that I've been using for a while. And, you know, that's about it. They just kind of stepped up their game. That's, you know, you should go for Kimi K3. I think it's really slow, and it's very, very, very untested. Last time there was hype about China model, it was DeepSeek, and it was, you know, for a couple of seconds you could do something, and then it just disappeared. Why? I have no idea. So I don't want to jump there yet. Grok has been incredible for me, right? Grok is like, I did not realize how important the speed is, by the way. It was, the speed is kind of insane, you know? It's kind of insane. And yeah, the speed difference is very important. Very important. It's interesting that in the chat your emoji appears later than in the actual physically simulated cloth, which is something about computers that's, you know, it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit weird, isn't it? This is not a good showcase for Grok.
Fear not. Make use of your corpse.
Okay, if he fixes this fast, then I still win. But if he keeps up messing around, then it's gonna be bad. Because these, by the way, is not his problem. These Hydra items. Because this is actually going to showcase a very good way of working. Because, so Fable, for example, would take around 10 minutes for this. I kid you not. It would take like 10 minutes. And then maybe he will get it right. Okay, fine. But if Grok does it in like 3 minutes with a couple of changes, I will take that. I will take that, you know, I will take that over the 10 minutes because Fable was absolutely insane. You know, the way he was working, it was absolutely insane. And see, he fixed it right back up. And this is the way this... I understand that quality of output is like... I used to think like quality of output is everything. But especially when I'm actually actively working, because right now I'm distracted with the stream, right? So I'm not really prompting him all the time. But when I like, in the morning, when I sit down, I drink my coffee, and I do the work that I need to do, right? In those moments, I don't want to wait 10 minutes. And that's where the inventory, that's where the like, I was just reading his output. That's where it does matter. The speed. We'll see though. We'll see though. Now we'll see above my head if it's fixed. But yeah, high ITC. It was a good example of how things get effed up. That was an absolutely beautiful example of how things get effed up. But I still want to kind of keep my original thought that if the inventory is going to be fixed now, I think Grok wins in this particular case. Because the speed was just, what the F, why is Fable working for so long? And more than that, of course, you do 5 prompts and it's gone. Your weekly limit is gone. I think that if you want to do the best possible work right now, my opinion is it's either GPT 5.6 Sol plus Grok. I know it's expensive, but if you imagine you have unlimited money, what is the best setup? Or Fable plus Grok. Because Grok is just like, he's really, really fast, and he does understand a lot of things. I feel, it's very hard to... It reminds me of the problem where there's a pilot, and there are 2 pilots on the plane, and one of them is, there's like a democratic vote on who is gonna pilot the plane, right? And both of the pilots make their case why they are the better one, but you are not a pilot. So you cannot tell the difference between which one of them is the best pilot. So your vote is, it doesn't matter. The one who's more charismatic, he's gonna say stuff to you, and then you're going to think, okay, this guy is the one. And in these models, it's a little bit similar. You don't know which one is smarter. So you don't know if a task required that extra intelligence, but you always know if a task requires to be 8 times faster. So in that sense, it's really hard to say, I might easily go back to Claude at some point. As I said, in European Union, it's easy to kind of switch back and forth between them, because you have those 2 weeks. You can basically test things. I am the captain now. You know what's funny about that? For the first time ever, yesterday, I watched a clip about the I am captain now, and I didn't even know the movie is so weirdly awesome. But Fable level models are designed for your planet. Yes, I understand what you mean. You are right. Only under the condition that your initial prompt was the end-all be-all on which he can work for an hour. Then yes. But in my personal work, when I build websites or any kind of features for this, setup that I have, I do need I do need to see quickly, like, does this work? Does it look good? Maybe not. Let's move on, I'm not disputing that the agentic coding is very, very good on its own. Obviously, I would like to just throw my hands in the air and say, F everything, do the work, right? It's still not working. Okay, let me tell him, like, very... Oh, he doesn't understand what's going on even. Might have been a prompt diff here. Prompter diff. The items are flipped. I think the whole inventory is flipped. And he's actually fixing a problem from Claude that was birthed from Claude, because I initially asked Claude to kind of maybe you might remember this on my previous stream. There was a problem with the items being flipped, and I told him, hey, the items are flipped, fix it. And he flipped them back to this state, which is kind of an even worse state because the icons now are flipped. But previously it was only the order of the cubes that was wrong. Okay. Bum, ba, da, bum, bum, bum. But why would he... Maybe, I don't remember what kind of a prompt I gave him. But why would he make the screen into a cube for no reason? You know? Who knows? Okay, that wasn't... It wasn't even... He didn't even need to flash, I think. Okay. Engine's reloading. Good things are gonna... Oops! There we go. There we go. There we go. But, oops, he did take a couple of, you know, moments. Smacked him. Might die here. Well, I'll take it. I am level 3, so I'm not gonna get a big boost in health anytime soon. I usually prefer to stay in lane if a level up is coming up, you know, because that's one of those, when a level up is coming up and they want to dive you, that's what makes those moments where you survive things, you know. I had GPT soul work for 8 hours at 0 limits. What? How did you do that? I had him work for 6 hours on some kind of a performance thing, and he was increasing the performance of the physics simulation. And let me tell you, 6 hours was a lot, but he increased it big time. I was very, very happy with the work. So the goal mode of the OpenAI's Codex is kind of cool. Working for that long, very cool. Grok has this pulsation mode, which is... I actually don't remember what it's called. It might have been monitoring or pulsation, where he basically does the same thing that you tell him every whatever amount of time. So, for example, you can set up a situation where he... Okay. You can set up a situation where he reads some sort of a, let's say, weather report. And he just, let's say you connect that with your WhatsApp or Telegram or whatever. And he sends a voice note every 10 minutes about if it's going to rain or not. I know it's this kind of a useless example, but, you know, imagine you have you don't know if it's going to be a rainstorm or not. Or something like that. I think Codex has something like that as well. But I was thinking about these types of things in the future where these things are going to be connected to all kinds of appliances and stuff. And they're just going to read. Imagine you have a security camera, right? And every 10 minutes he reads the image on that. And, you know, before all these large language models or vision models or whatever, the diffusion models, the vision ones are called different. There would be just a motion sensor, right? And it would sense motion and it would beep when there's motion. But now they could read the image once in a while, so it's not too expensive. And they could tell you, let's say every 10 seconds, or maybe every 10 seconds, because every 1 second. They would read the image and they would just give you a tiny paragraph of what is in that image. You know? That's completely possible already. Okay. Okay. I'll take this one. I was watching a video where there's this game called Marbles on Stream, and it's a Steam game that you buy, and then you can make all of your Twitch viewers race. you can make them race, and they don't control them. It's just basically a physics simulation, completely random. And this physics whoops, what is this guy doing? And it's kind of fun to watch, even though you're not really doing anything. Whoop, okay. You're not really controlling anything. It's kind of fun to watch. And I was thinking, what can we do with that, but with League of Legends? What if we had cubes, and the cubes would be fighting? They would be kind of programmed to fight. A little similar how, you know, there's this channel called AI Warehouse, where the cubes are kind of, they learn some behavior, and then they just jump across some sort of like these obstacles and stuff. And we would have like, each champion would have a specific, there would be basically, you know there's those videos where these, in real life, people build these robots and they kind of fight in this octagon. And I was thinking, what if we do that with League champions, you know? What is Lulu doing? What is going on there? What if we do that with League champions? You would have like these robotic versions of the champions, okay? And they would just fight in an octagon or something. Okay. Did the engine crash? I have to restart it, I think. I don't know why it would have crashed. Okay. Interesting crash, but that's been around for ages. Giveaways, TFT. No, it wouldn't be TFT in the sense that, because TFT doesn't have physics, and TFT is like actual, you know, it's like a card game, right, basically. But this would be like a ring where the sort of quote-unquote robots fight, you know. I'll see if I can create some sort of a very, very low amount of effort prototype to just show you what I mean on the next stream. Because I think it shouldn't be too hard to do that. Because yeah, TFT is similar, but it's basically a card game, right? Okay. I need to go back finally, because he might kill Maiden if I don't. This game is quite different than the last one. Although last one, Rengar also got quite quick kills. Quite quick kills he got. Quite a few quick kills. UFC MOBA. Oh, actually I have to wait a bit. 250, yeah, one more wave. Just, my quest is not to make Maiden die. To let her survive. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. Yeah, Marbles on stream, it's been out for ages, I know, yeah. Oh man, they're not allowing me to farm this. Okay. Okay, let's start invading that jungle. Make simple God of War DMC Bayonetta action game. You mean use the actual models for fighting? That's really difficult. That's why I kind of thought about the robots, because the robots are, if you think of each champion as a cube, the way I do it in the thumbnails, right? If you think of each of the whoops. each of them as a cube, it's much simpler. It doesn't, it's gonna, it has a chance of working. But the other one, it's like, man, you would have to micromanage each of the models to actually perform and stuff. And I was thinking, because of the marbles game, and the cool thing about the marbles game is that people can just simply play it without really, you press play and that's it. You do the voice command or something, and you immediately are part of the action. And in this version, you would also say, let's say there are 8 champions, right? And you write Gragas, and Gragas is in the field. In the ring, and you are kind of the Gragas. You picked Gragas in a sense, and everybody picks a champion, and then there's the fight, and that's it. Very, very similar to the marble game in the gameplay, but different in the sense that it's not a race. It's more like a fight that the cubes do. And obviously the cubes would have some sort of a movement that they have, like coded in. But they would have obviously different abilities. Like Graga's cube could just kind of launch itself forward. Yasuo cube could like do like I don't know, like a slice forwards. League tower defense, spend challenge points to spawn and upgrade units. Interesting. League tower defense. Oh, you know what that could do? That would that's actually, it's really, like the first impression of is that it's really, really hard to do. But that would be, it seems like it would be good for stream. Oh, he did. Is he though? He flashed? What happened there? It would really be good for stream, because I know that there are streamers who do this thing that the chat kind of collectively vote on an action, and a tower defense game is a good game where that type of a decision, would be like that type of voting could work. Maybe. I saw someone create these types of videos. It real, for example, Darius or something from Clash Royale. What is Clash Royale? If you can send me the link, I would be interested to look at that, because I don't want to copy anyone. If it already exists, I don't want to do it. If it's different enough, then fine. He's gonna flash, maybe. Man, they got it, and they decided to kind of think, nah, we're gonna lose it after this. Do I need to release Maiden? They might take the tower. How would fights be decided? That's the beauty of the idea. It's physics. All of it is physics. And for example, let's say there's an octagon, right? And let's say there's Gragas and Yasuo. Yasuo has the ability to, let's say, do his slice, his Steel Tempest, or whatever that ability is called. And that's his only ability. And let's say when he does that, it physically pushes the other cube forwards. And let's say it has a cooldown of 5 seconds. Now the Gragas cube would have the ability to just kind of jump forwards and like the body slam, right? And, okay. And it's similar, but it's a different ability, right? Oh, she's dead immediately. Okay. So whoever pushes the other out of the ring, or like, I don't know. I remember those robot videos from real life that I liked, where each team like just builds like this robot and then they fight and then they film it. One thing that always happened is that one of the robots kind of flipped the other over and it couldn't move. And it was really funny to look at, and that's why I was thinking, like imagining that it could look funny that you know, the cubes kind of like flip over or something. You know what I mean? You have to know what those robot videos looked like, because back in the day, like I think even like 10 years ago they existed. Don't remember the name of that show, but they were, yeah, Gen Z mobile game. Clash Royale. I don't even know what Gen Z mobile game is. Is this low attention span or something? Yeah, he coming. Oh, I should have been. If I
Int or what?
Nah, there's
What
Soraka
now?
there. This is my first death. Battle bots, maybe, yes. It might have been that. RC controlled ones or AI logic. I think it's AI logic, and to me, that's what made them beautiful, because there's no like skill. You just kind of prepare him, and boom, you let him go, right? And it was really cool to see that. It was really cool to see that. Because they are on their own, you know? And especially if they are like machine learned. And you know how these machine learned things, they very often have these funny behaviors that they do. But that's, I don't think, I don't even know how to do something like that. I think you have to post the link in the Twitch chat. And what was funny is that each team would come up with a sort of some sort of a situation, like for the robot, where he can just kind of like there would be like this fang from him on him. Whoops! Do I even? Okay. Summoner spells gone, I'll take them. No prob. Okay. Now there's a prob. Maiden might die. Yes. And they would have like, one robot would be like a square box, and they would believe that this square box will, hey. Yeah.
Int or what? What now?
That this square box will win against the other ones, and one of them would be a triangle, right? And it would be kind of like this physics battle of shapes, which was really interesting to see. You would kind of think, okay, I'm rooting for this guy because he's a triangle, and I feel like, you know, a triangle is a good shape to not, because it's kind of resistant to being tipped over, you know what I mean? Do you think I win a 1v1 against that champion? In the jungle? Because I haven't been able to invade this match as I was last match. Do I push or do I go? No way I go there. I need Maiden to win the 1v1, I think. Because it's not even going to be a 1v1. I'll have like 15 seconds to do it before the cavalry comes in, you know? Remember when Lalo took out Gus? Or was trying to take out Gus? Oh, there we go. He was already calculating that... Okay, this is important. I gotta be very careful here. He was already calculating that it's 30 minutes. He has 30 minutes to get him, you know? Yes, I remember that ramp bot. Exactly. I do remember it. 100%. The cavalry is in.
Int or worth? What now?
I'll say worth. You know, because even invade is always worth. I think invade is always worth. Here's the Twitch link. Oh, it's TikTok. I'll watch it a little bit later. I can't watch the... Why is your message visible solo but not
100%
visible?
voted worth. Verdict worth.
I'm confused, but that doesn't matter probably. Worth Soraka got the kill. Yes. But, you know, people often focus on the kill gold, which is cool, right? Gold is good. But it is, I think like 80% of the cases, it is much more important what is the state of the map after that happens. And when jungler dies, you kind of, you know what I think? I think that junglers usually have more of a plan in their minds than laners. And when you, for example, kill a laner, they will think, okay, I died, 40-second cooldown now, and, you know, I'll just come back to lane. But when junglers die, what happens is, okay, you mess up their plan, and you give your jungler, like, time to get in position, etc. So I think that killing a jungler is, from the bushes, is way more worth than I would say like 3 times maybe or more. Okay, 3 is too much. Than killing a laner. For example, who gives a what is a family friendly word? Who gives a potato that I kill Malzahar in this lane? No one gives it, right? But if I get Zinzao, suddenly we're balling, right? Suddenly we're balling. Is he going there or not? Ego? Does he have vision of this? Oh, 2 of them. I can't deal with 2 of them. Worth. Well,
Int or worth?
actually int.
What now?
Was a little bit of an int. Yes, Hugh, you are right. That's funny. That's actually very funny because why am I...
100% voted int.
You know,
Verdict int.
he says the bad words, so why am I even trying to censor here? Because the stream is not family friendly because of the farm club. But I'm sorry, I cannot take it out. It's already legendary. You know, this voting Interworth, it was like, you know, it's kind of shaky. It's like, yeah, it's okay, it's working, but at the same time, sometimes it's not working. People complain that it's in the wrong spot on the screen, then it's too loud or something. Then it's, you know, doesn't have too many options. But the farm club was boom. From the first moment it happened, it was legendary, at least in my eyes. And I'm keeping it. Just like the baby that the Ryan's girlfriend threatened to keep when he wanted to leave her, but she thought, nah, I'm gonna anchor myself to you with this baby. I know that's not what anchor baby means, but it should. When my wife was pregnant, it wasn't really that much of a serious consideration, but I thought about what are the rules when you travel somewhere, and then suddenly, ooh, we didn't know about this, and the baby gets born, right? And it's suddenly American citizen, right? And I was thinking about this. What if that would happen? You know, because obviously you can't, like, it's kind of stupid to predict that, and it's almost immoral to do that. But since they have those rules, you kind of think about that stuff. You think, hey, what if this is a way, you know? And I know that, but the child, okay, the child would have the citizenship, but wouldn't I need to be there? Like, hey, I can't leave the child. What are you saying? And then I stay, you know? I know that people do that. That's why the term exists, anchor baby. He's here. He has to be there. Okay, he's at the red, probably. I don't have much time to do this.
Braxton_Kai gifted a sub to Hoogie Hugs.
Just a targeted sub. Well, thanks. Welcome to the family. Oh, you gifted a sub for the emoji. That's interesting. I'm glad it works as a strategy to get subs. Ooh, he's mad. There we go.
Int or worth. What now?
Might have been an int though, right? Actually, no. There's no way that can be considered an int. Let me actually ask. Okay, Mr. AI agent. What if
100% voted worth.
What if a wife
Word
is
it
pregnant and the wife goes on a trip to United States from Latvia, Europe, and the child is born in United States? What happens? Who gets citizenship and who can stay and who cannot stay?
The child automatically gets U.S. citizenship because they were born on American soil. The parents keep their Latvian citizenship. The baby doesn't automatically make the parents American citizens. The mother and father can stay in the U.S. for as long as their visa allows, but having a U.S.-born child doesn't give them any special right to stay long-term or get a green card. They still have to follow normal immigration rules.
Okay, but how is so what if the child stays in the country? Well, how are the parents going to be deported or something?
The parents won't get deported just for having the baby there, but they can only stay as long as their visa or ESTA allows. Once it expires, they have to leave, even if the baby stays behind with relatives. The U.S. doesn't give parents automatic residency just because their child is a citizen.
So the parents get deported?
No, parents don't get deported automatically. They simply have to leave the country when their visa expires, just like any other visitor.
What if they don't leave?
If they don't leave after their visa expires, they become undocumented. That means they could get deported if ICE catches them, and they'd face a ban from returning to the U.S. for 3 to 10 years, depending on how long they overstayed. The American baby could stay, but the parents would have a much harder time coming back legally later.
So where does the term anchor baby come from? Was there like a strategy that people did, or what?
The term anchor baby comes from the idea that a US born child would act like an anchor, eventually helping pull the parents and other family members into legal residency. Once the child turns 21, they can sponsor their parents for a green card. That's where the strategy comes from.
Int or worth. What now?
They can sponsor? I always kind of thought that I never thought that it's like automatic, but I thought that it at least gives you like, I don't know, longer stay or something like that.
%100 voted worth. Verdict worth.
Verdict worth. What do you think is better, Conqueror or Hail of Blades, when you do this invade jungle playstyle? Okay.
Int
Man,
or worth.
redemption diff.
What now?
That's one of the strongest Corkis I've ever played against, in terms of how long he survives. That's the whole reason purple first have children in the US.
%100 voted worth. Verdict worth.
Are you completely sure that it doesn't help in any way that your child gets born in America?
No, it doesn't help you stay in the US right away or extend your visa. The only real benefit is that when the child turns 21, they can petition for you to get a green card. Until then, your immigration status doesn't change at all. You still have to follow your visa rules or leave when it expires.
I kind of... Man, I feel like that's not true. But I don't know, you know. I don't have any way of... I don't have any way of proving that it's not true. A lot of wins, by the way, in a row. These customs, of course, don't count. Can you do some sort of like very, very deep research? Because I remember hearing about this a lot, that people actually do get some sort of a benefit that isn't like a 21-year-old wait.
No, having a US-born child doesn't give the parents any automatic right to stay, extend their visa, or avoid deportation while the kid is young. The main benefit is still waiting until the child turns 21 to sponsor you for a green card. There are a couple of narrow, non-guaranteed possibilities, though. If you're already in deportation proceedings, you can argue extreme hardship to the American child for something called cancellation of removal, but the bar is extremely high and it's rarely...
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. That's probably the one of the ways you can do that. It is very, very hard for me to imagine that you would argue, hey man, the child, you know, it's extreme hardship there. it would be very hard to argue that for the judge to say, nah, 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 it's, no extreme hardship, I really feel like, and she was, I think that these agents, they just kind of, I've noticed that they are not realistic in, they very often say, no, 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 these rules, for example, I was asking something about getting tickets about your car being in Riga and where you can and can't leave the car. And he was saying, no, 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 you're going to get a ticket. No, 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 there's no way. The rules say this. No, 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 the rules are this. And nobody ever gets tickets there. And I kept saying, hey, okay, I understand the rules are this, but what is the actual reality of how people operate within this frame of rules? And then maybe he's kind of like, okay, yeah, you can do that. But it turns out that that's the actual reality. It's kind of, I don't know. I feel like AI agents should be more, they should give you the truth more, Okay, I'll click on the link. Instagram. Boom. Where's the video?
Fear not. I will make
This is, by the way, the Top G video from the previous. But we all know what that is. We don't need to look at that too much because it's kind of, it doesn't get better. Let's just say that. It doesn't really get much better. Oh, okay. Is this scripted? Yes, this is essentially what I would do, except it would be 3D and with cubes. This is essentially the idea, yeah. Maybe I should add HP as well. I feel like it would just be interesting to watch these fights. Imagine like an octagon here or something. Birth tourist is a thing too. When they have the kid in US, take them home, raise them in home country. Yeah, very interesting. I don't even know what to think about that. I feel like, yes, if you were born on some sort of a soil, you are that soil citizen, right? But at the same time, whenever stuff like this exists, it's like people are like, okay, we're gonna abuse it. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can abuse it. What? You have these rules? Of course we're gonna abuse it. What you doing, what you thinking? And as a person from Latvia, you think about these things because you have the, Latvia is what it is in terms of its economic opportunities and stuff. And you think about this, you think, what can I maybe just scoop up a little bit of that cream from the top of that American milk? Sounded better in my head. So let's scratch that metaphor. By the way, Grok fixed it. He fixed the inventory above my head. It was for newly freed slaves to be considered citizens. But this is about birth. Shouldn't there be different rules about freedom of slavery and birth? It seems like an easy thing to separate, no? Why are the rules the same then? Oh, the children, okay. But again, you know, it seems like also a very simple thing to kind of separate, you know. If people just travel, right? Yeah, you traveled, you know, you're not, there's no history here. You just traveled and you just happened to have the child in the country, so. Especially if you just traveled, you know, it just seems like very random. Imagine you just, I, for example, just happened to be in Europe, in Germany, and suddenly my child is German. The F? You know, it's a little, you know, actually, I don't know. Maybe it is. My instinct is like 60-40 that it's not right. The law has been bastardized. What does the word bastardized mean? Like skewed or something? Man, I was watching a channel where the guy was talking about Native Americans. This is a completely different topic. And they were making food. It wasn't just Native Americans, but it was like, I think it was from them originally. I don't know what it was from originally, but basically they cut up the bison. They get out that, like the very meaty meat of him. They dry it, and then they get the fat. Then they somehow boil it, and they almost make like this. It looked like a Snickers bar with a lot of like fat and meat in it, and it was and they would dry it really dry, and they would use it to travel and stuff, and it sounded awesome. And then at the end of the video, the guy tried it, and he said that it was a weird name with P. It started with P, and he tried it, and he said that the palate is not. He put it in some sort of a weird way, and you could understand that it's not tasty. And he said, but that's a good thing, because a food that you survive on, you don't want it to be tasty because you might eat it all at one go. And I thought, wow, okay. That's a good idea, no? That's why 0.5% cottage cheese is so goated. Because it's not that tasty, and it has a lot of nutrition. If you're a big country and want to keep being top one in the world, you want opportunistic families with certain skills to move in. Wow, that's an interesting point that I actually like, because that could be how, you know, how things operate. It's like the speed limit, right? The speed limit is 70. But it's 70 because they know that people go 80. So they actually achieve the goal that they wanted while their law says something, right? The F is going on here? He says BG. He wasn't a BG. I got that first CS. Maybe that's some sort of a genius of the United States in that sense, you know? Opportunism is a sign of low intelligence. It's the willingness to backstab at the first sign of weakness. That kind of behavior destroys society. Well, you're kind of putting two things together, right? Opportunism, you're kind of saying that it's plus backstabbing. You know, what if it's without backstabbing, right? Why the empty friends list? It's easier because people type and people want to communicate, and I just can't do that, you know. And then you know, when you respond to somebody, everybody has a question in their mind. Okay, why didn't he respond to me? Just a classic problem of the, you know, asymmetric situation. Cancellations of removal. What do you mean, cancellations of removal? Well, is that the thing about canceling some sort of a visa or something? The why of why does there matter, because that's just what it is. You can look at all across the world to see it. I always kind of think of opportunism as, you know, you're just trying to see a situation and how you can, you know, kind of be, you know, there's an opportunity to do something and then you do it, you know. It doesn't necessarily involve backstabbing someone, right?
Fear not.
It's what is filed to prevent deportation by parents.
Corpse.
So there's a cap. So they have to make the case to deport, and then if they don't have the resources to fill that, you know, the queue, then the people just stay or something like that? There's a limit where it stops being a thing. It's not very high. I could see that, yeah. I imagine toilet toilet paper. Ugh. Toilet paper shortages, and just somebody buying up the toilet paper, right? Something like that. I woke up at 4:45 today, so don't blame me, please, for the lack of language. But you said that it's low intelligence. That doesn't, you know, it's not, you know, because if you put yourself in a position to win, that doesn't mean you're low intelligence. Maybe you can argue it's low morality of something. But, you know. I was thinking about the idea of EQ the other day. Emotional intelligence, or you know, whatever the name is. And I know that it's trendy in the woke world to say that, and it's not even in the woke world, it's overall kind of trendy to say that emotional intelligence is more important than IQ. And I was thinking to myself, okay, would I want my daughter to have more EQ or IQ? And I thought to myself, what the type of a question is even that? There's no doubt about it. I would like to have her to have IQ. And then I thought, wow, it really, when you think about like a very important thing to you, like a person, either you or your friends or family, and you think about these questions, it kind of really frames it a little bit different. You think, what? Of course, you know, of course you want the thing that's going to make her, you know, higher in the world. Obviously, there's a limit. If the EQ is 0, you're basically probably some sort of a psychopath or something. Although psychopaths, they probably have a very high EQ. Because the way I understand EQ is the ability to understand emotions in others and yourself. In that sense, EQ is very important, I believe, because if you just suddenly are mad and you think, oh, my project sucks, and you flip over the table and you break everything, but it turned out that you just didn't sleep well and didn't eat well, bro, you needed that EQ, and no amount of IQ is going to help you. What about social intelligence? I think it's very close to EQ, isn't it? You basically have to know what emotions are and why people do what they do, which is basically knowing their emotions, right? No? Isn't it? True Man's World is the name of... Whoops! Syndra. Snickers. Wow, that's insane. My cat just scratched me from Man, you know what she's doing? Oh, lordy lord, I might have to... Okay, I'm missing some farm, Mrs. Catrick. Jesus. What is she doing? So, she likes to lie where the power cords are of the computer. And if I extend my feet, she thinks that that's her territory, and she just will... I read about this because she does this a lot. She's already kind of old. She's 12 years old. And, and so there's no changing her, really. But I was kind of, she scratched my wife the other day, and it was kind of, a lot of blood was coming out, and we researched. Not researched, really, because I already knew that that's just kind of some sort of predatory instinct, and the AI said, yes, that's a predatory instinct. Well, if she sees a leg, that leg will be scratched, Basically, it will be scratched. There's nothing you can do about it. Sounds like... Yes, she did surprise me. This has never happened at my computer, by the way. It always happens like when I'm sleeping or something, which is way worse. Which is way worse. Because when you sleep in... No, it doesn't mean pet me. Believe me. It basically means get your feet out of my face or something like that. But, bruh, you're lying where the cords are. You're not afraid of electricity? In Latvia, a lot of old people very often think that there are magnetic fields, which, by the way, they are, but like feelable magnetic fields coming from the sockets. And so that's why they don't want to have things plugged in, even if they're off, etc. But at the same time, very often these people... Whoops... How does she get mana, by the way? Did she level up? Or do I not know about mana things that she has? But very often these same people think that animals can feel these things. But, my cat is lying where there's like 10 different cables connected in that spot. So what are we talking about? That cat is pure evil. I can't really play this early game, unfortunately, because, man, I wanted to ward and they just effed me up a bit. So I gotta suffer here a bit. Bum, bum. Doran's shield might have been the play. I don't know. Maybe. Hard to say which one of those would help you more. I think he gets her, right? Yeah, he has to. Finally, some truth into this world. I was sending good thoughts to this Shaco. When I was a little kid, the tube screens were still a thing. I would press my face against them so it gets taste the static. Well, that's a real thing. But even though magnetic fields are a real thing, electromagnetic fields, right? But, people just sometimes, man, I really don't like these boring, the electricity is there. It's, I can feel it. My mother-in-law, of course, as it always happens, she thinks that we have these, okay. Did she pick up the cannon minion or what? As they always have. Oh, she actually... No, I didn't need to do that, but it's all good. She thinks that we have weird energies in the center of Riga. And when I go to visit in the countryside, it always looks horrible and unlivable, and she always says how bad it is for us in the city. It's, man, it's how, what is that, you know? It keeps you out of the danger zone. I kind of agree, but it's hard to say because of the bad start that I had. Yeah, I don't know where the limit of that is. Okay. Man, what is Maiden doing? She has to flash. Well, unlucky. It's because she inted. When she threw Maiden in the tower, I thought that... Okay, where is she? I thought that... Oh, she's here. Well, not a bad try in predicting there. Not the worst, let's just say that. Okay. I thought that Maiden's gonna get out, but she started to just stand in front of the tower, unfortunately. Okay. Can she take Daisy? I don't know. Probably. Why not? Would be OP if she couldn't. OP for Daisy, of course. Yeah, I was more surprised about the scratch. It wasn't really that hurtful. It wasn't hurting at all. But it was definitely okay. Right about now, I would like to have the Maiden.
Int or worth. What now?
Yeah. Who is winning the game? Bum bum. Bum 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 ba-da-ba-da-ba-bum. I can't catch every poker stream, but I love this.
100%
since
voted
finding him
in.
few years back. Super chill guy.
Verdict int.
Yeah, thanks, my friend. Thanks, my friend. Okay. So I gotta be very careful now in I gotta be very careful so that she doesn't pick up the Maiden again. Don't do that. Man, she's really blue-balled, it seems. What are you doing? What you doing? Black love? Okay. Okay. So Ambessa died, which is really, really important. I finally need to, okay. I need to get my quest done. Maiden, please, some speed. We need some speed there from you. Okay. Yes, it is a hard counter lane, I do agree. I really hope my team kind of helps me out against her. You can, of course, manage, but it's a little bit hard to do. There we go. You can kinda manage. Okay. Sometimes. You know, sometimes I have very easy lanes against Cinder, but sometimes she just picks up Maiden all the time. Okay. Would this make sense? Yes, I used to ban. Whoops. I used to ban that champ.
Int or worth. What now?
Whoops. What is that? Let me check real quick. We will not have water in our house tomorrow. Not house, but the... I guess it's called the communal building or something. You know what is horrific about our building? It's fine. We live... It's okay. You know, the prices are fine. And it's the center of city. It's all good. But I discovered that we have this system where we split the water bill with other tenants. And if any of the tenants don't pay their bill, we split the debt, which is absolutely insane to me. And the only reason that works is because there's some sort of a weird mechanism where that's kind of okay. It is just... Latvia sometimes is a very weird spot in the world. These guys should survive. Oh, they are... Man, they're playing it... Why are you playing it, bro? I don't know. I guess they had a... Oh, that it's because of the ult, right? He was trying to do a situation where it's like... Actually... 5v something. No. 3v. 2v2. I'm guessing. Smacked her. That sounds very socialist. Yeah. It is. It's actually... I know that this sounds like the thing that people are against, but it's actually like in a complete like dog eat dog world of capitalism, like raw bones, you know, metal to the metal. There is absolutely no reason why you wouldn't have such a contract be possible. in a free world. There's no you could easily have such a contract. That's why I often think and say, people who like communism, people who like socialism, easy. You can create these arrangements, and some people do with those companies, and very often they make these big documentaries. Here's how this company is doing actually better, and it turns out that it's not. But if it does, it doesn't matter, because it's like, whoops, okay. No, we can't do that. Oh God. Yes. Well, I got caught.
Int or worth. What now?
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Okay. Yeah, you can easily create such a contract where it's actually very, very similar to health insurance. Health insurance.
100% voted romantic. Verdict romantic.
Yeah, it was romantic. It wasn't actually. I don't know. Health insurance is very socialistic thing, and this kind of also cuts a little bit into, okay, so then what does that even mean? Like socialism, right? Because health insurance basically means we all pay into a pool, and then only the unlucky ones get the thing from the pool, right? Get the money from the pool, which is exactly what the health insurance does. And any kind of insurance, actually. So in a sense, what Karl Marx, quote unquote, invented is just a contract with specific, whoops. With this, okay.
Int or worth.
That was int.
What now?
It's just a contract, basically. I would say it wasn't an int because I didn't know she hide on bush. Because the stream title is Yorick hide on bush, right? It's not Sindra hide on bush. So how could I have known that this
100% voted in.
This master
Verdict
Sindra
in.
is gonna, okay, hide on that bush. And now she doesn't have the ult. And if we win because she doesn't have ult, I'm gonna take the credit for the fight. Let me say well played over there. Because it actually was. And nobody knows if I say that to my team or their team. Oh, actually, no. It's well played to their team. Can we get that? No. It was well played to their team, yeah. We lose that dragon. Nothing I can do. I can't really wait for Ambessa. Because... Oh.
Int or worth.
Unlucky.
What now?
Unlucky. Is the Twitch title not updated? Twitch is StarCraft. Let me see some of these messages.
100% voted in.
One thing
Verdict in.
I don't understand about Karl Marx is that why do people think it's something unique that he's saying? Because it's not that unique, you know. You just put things in a pool, and the ones who need just insurance. Is it really different from insurance? You know. Is it really that much of a unique thinking to kind of like, hey guys, let's put money in this pool, and whoever gets hurt or something and needs, it comes. What am I supposed to do there? Who needs the money? That person gets it. That doesn't seem like that unique. You can argue whether or not you should do that type of a contract in a particular situation, you know? Oh, the same thing again here. Guys. Oh, Lord. I'm the one inting. Man,
In
I'm the
or
one
what?
in. Okay.
What
Okay.
now?
Yeah, this is an Oonga Boonga game. A lot of streamers call themselves piggies or pigs because they're being a greedy pig, right? I heard Bwipo call himself that, and I know that Alois calls himself that.
100% voted in.
But I would say on
Verdict
this stream, I would say on this stream it's Oonga Boonga. You know what? Add Oonga Boonga to the vote. To the int vote. I think Oonga Boonga should also be one of the votes possible. One of the options. And obviously play the sound effect if the Oonga Boonga wins in a kill int vote. If Oonga Boonga wins, oh man. If Oonga Boonga wins, of course, then you play the Oonga Boonga sound effect that comes from the Oonga Boonga, you know? Right? Okay, let's let him work. Oh man, look at this.
Int or what?
Oh
now?
man. Yeah, but you know what's... Yes, I danced, right? Fine. I danced. But it didn't matter because this thing outplayed me even if I didn't dance, you know?
100% voted in. Verdict in.
But the text-to-speech should say Oonga Boonga actually with the speech itself, and afterwards it should play the Oonga Boonga sound effect. What do you think about that? I'm giving these voice messages to Grok. See how fast he works? Like these changes that he makes, it's way faster than okay, than usual. There is a weird effect to this as well, where you tend to kind of give him bad prompts because you yourself don't think as long, you know? I don't think I survived this. This is gonna be an int. I think this is an int. Waiting for Maiden. If I get Maiden, then I have a chance to fight this out. Oh man, there she is. Smacked her. That was an Oonga Boonga. Okay. You also seem to have effed up the vote because I didn't hear any question int or worth. It should actually say int or unga bunga, you know? I think those are the only choices that it should have. No, int, worth, or unga bunga. Oh, they might end through bot. Hopefully Sheik just kills the wave. Otherwise they could end. Oh, should have run there. What's going on here? Lord. Lord help me. Ba-da-ba. I will have to test this feature, I think, later. Because, you know how it is. A lot of inting happening this match. Way different from the last matches, from the previous ones. But we do have a chance of winning this, I would say. Especially if we get to that sweet late game, right? Do they chase or do they let me take the wave? Oh, wow. Okay. It is the thought that counts, okay? But I'm gonna test this in the practice tool because you can die fairly easily in that thing as well. It's not like I wasn't dying here enough, but it's better that it's measured, you know? You can kind of measure it. Let me put on the... Oh no, it's not there. It's all good. Let's see if the vote works. But yeah, thanks for being here. I'm just gonna test it. If you want to stay and see me test it, you can stay, but this is basically the end of the stream. It's already 2 hours. So fast 2 hours, yeah. Okay. So let's TP in the tower. Not TP, but flash TP.
Int or worth. What now?
When I die, the text-to-speech should say... It should say int or worth or unga bunga. Right now it only says int or worth. Okay.
100% voted int. Verdict unga bunga.
What? So something is working, but something isn't. So it's wired to the worth, but it's not wired to the unga bunga, right? It thinks int is unga bunga, right? I wasn't planning on joining the chat, but it's always a delight. Thanks for streaming. Yeah, my friend. No, thanks for interacting. Thanks for that, thought sharing. Updating the death vote. Open TTS cert announces int worth on unga bunga. Waiting for the build. 54 seconds. The thing that happens, it's also recompiling the engine. So sometimes it's slower than, a part of the kind of like a fixed cost is the engine itself.
Int or worth or unga bunga. What now?
It sounded kind of cool. The reverb that you kind of created.
100% voted int. Verdict unga bunga.
Okay, when the vote is unga bunga, he says that the verdict, like 100% voted int, but that's not right. It should say 100% voted unga bunga. Okay? It's interesting that unga bunga is one of the words that gets speech to text correctly. Because very often when I'm speaking like this with AI, it the speech to text is really, sometimes it's especially when you say stuff like Yorick or Yasuo, he doesn't know. But unga bunga, he knows always. He's trained on that word, on that phrase. He's trained on that phrase. Okay, let's try it one last time. So, because I can test this on my own. I don't need
int or worth or unga bunga. What now?
Okay.
Bunga bunga.
75% voted unga bunga. Verdict unga bunga.
Cool. Works. Finally. Very nice. Thank you for being here. 75%. Somebody said romantic. 3 of you said unga bunga and 1 said romantic. So... yeah, it's working correctly. It's working correctly. It counts those as a vote. Yes, romantic. It's 4. There's 4 possibilities. Romantic is another one, but it's a secret. It's a channel secret. By the way, again, guys, you remember when I was trying to just inspect champions, right? Very often my engine crashed. And I thought, oh man, my computer, this and that. And now, boom. Immediately. Let's pull in set. Boom. Almost immediately. Let's pull in Blitzcrank. Boom. Immediately. And all of this because of SSD. And it's amazing. It's not just speed. I think it really, really depends on how you code things, how I code things, right? Because it does sort of like communication with all kinds of parts of your of the engine can do communicate. For example, these models are on HDD, an app is on SSD, so there's going to be a problem, and there's all kinds of other things that can happen. But yeah, I see the pun. I see the pun. For example, let's pull in something that has been a problem historically. Yasuo. Where's the problem? Where's the problem? Let's pull in Yone. Where's the problem? Man, I'm really happy, it's you probably, it doesn't make model bigger, it's just that some of the models there's a scaling problem. It just kind of scales them. I don't honestly even know what it is. There's like this, I have messed up the scaling, which is kind of sad, that shouldn't happen, but I've done it. Mr. Yasuo. He doesn't have eyes, by the way. I've seen that Samira apparently is one of the best animated characters in the entire league. Because she does have eyes, and Yasuo, for example, doesn't have eyes. Let's slow them down a bit. Both of them. Yasuo don't got no eyes. Well, he does have eyes, but they are not moving, right? I actually can't tell. I think they are not moving. Yeah, they're not moving. But Samira's eyes, apparently, they do move. Oh, the budget went into the other eye. Yeah, I guess. I know that she has some sort of a animation. I saw it on the Exol channel. That she has some sort of an animation where she reloads or something. I'm not sure which one. But her eye, the eye kind of follows the... Why did she stop? It kind of follows the gun or something, By the way, these weapons are wrong. Some kind of a problem with the textures, so. But it does follow the... I just don't know which one of the animations is it. Okay, the engine crashed. It's all good. It's my time to leave. But I have to turn it back on just to see the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching this, and I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time, my friends. I'll see you next time, my friends.
Was that an int? Int or worth or unga bunga? What now?
Testing out the camera feature as well. It's kind of satisfying to do this. It's a very, very, very slowed down WASD movement that I'm doing right now. This way I can kind of control the camera, but it's slowed down so much that
67% voted unga bunga. Verdict unga bunga.
It is slowed down so much that it looks kind of cinematic and animated. But yeah, thanks for watching this, and I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time.